Hey, it's Dana Peever, the Decision Smith. How are you today? I'm hoping you caught episode 1 of my pre-launch videos yesterday. If you didn't, just a quick recap. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be diving into 4 different topics, and we'll be covering them over the course of the 2 weeks. And yesterday we started by talking about why it's really important for people who are faced with tough decisions to have some kind of method to follow to be able to make those decisions. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the different kinds of decision makers there are out there. And I'm hoping that as I go through my list, you might identify with one or more of these types of decision makers. It's really going to play a role in how we move forward in terms of looking at this system and how it might best serve your purpose as you move forward making any tough decisions in your life. So as mentioned, a list of different types of decision makers. There are so many out there. If you Google types of decision makers, you get lists and lists. Some have 5, some have 7, some have 12. So many different types. But I really like this kind of tongue-in-cheek list that identifies really what your thought process is as you go into making your tough decision. So let's start off with the interrogator. That is somebody who is faced with a decision and goes and asks every person they know their opinion on the topic that they have to make a decision about. They talk to their neighbors, they talk to their colleagues, they talk to their family, they talk to the cashier at the grocery store. They are trying to get the opinions of people who perhaps have been faced with similar decisions in the past. And they take that information and they try and piece it all together. Now, typically, these people don't like to make decisions alone. They need to know that somebody else has made a similar decision and it's turned out okay for them. And that's when they have a comfort level making that decision. Then we might have the researcher who, may talk to people, but typically they're finding information for themselves, perhaps online. They're Googling information about it. They're, researching wherever they can to find more information on the topic. And sometimes they just wind up with so much information, they overwhelm themselves and don't even know where to go from there. So that's the researcher. Then we might find a debater, and that can be a person who, finds out information but wants to debate the validity of the information that they're being presented with, whether it be, discussing it with someone else and they have a different point of view, and the debater wants to delve deeper into their point of view, rebutting it with their views and that type of thing. And that's good. It's a decent process, but it really doesn't get you the end result that you might want. My real tongue-in-cheek decision maker is my magic 8-baller, or my rock paper scissors person. Someone who just flies by the seat of their pants and just makes a decision on a whim. Sometimes they turn out, but more often than not, we're not having much success with those decision makers. The last decision maker on my list is the gut instinct follower. Now, at initial view, that could be an issue. If somebody just follows their gut instinct and nothing else. But what I want to tell you with my system is that a gut instinct follower is actually a great person to be. Because as you work through my system over and over and over, what you find is that it actually corroborates what your gut instinct has told you initially. And once you become more confident in listening to your instincts, you become a better decision maker overall. So do you identify with any of those types of decision makers? I'm sure you do, and you might identify with them differently based on the decision that you're faced with, and that's very common as well. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you have had a little bit of a chuckle with regard to some of the different types of decision makers there are out there. Stay tuned for tomorrow when we dive into this topic just a little bit deeper. Thanks. I'm Dana, the Decision Smith. We'll talk to you soon.